Hey guys, my name is Larry Blundred, founder of Ollie Otter Adventures. Today we're going to read my third book, Let's Travel to Bainbridge Island, Washington, where pickleball started in 1965. Ollie visits where it all started. Well, Bonnie, we're on our way, Ollie said as he looked over the ship's side rail. He watched and listened to the gentle waves of Puget Sound. Splish, splash. His best friend Bunny, stood beside him. Bonnie hopped up and down. Look, Bainbridge Island is in the distance. Yes, there it is, Ollie pointed to the small island. I can't wait to see where pickleball all started. Who knows what we'll discover and who we will meet. For a minute, I didn't think we would make it on the ferry, Bonnie replied. They allow dogs, of course, but we were the first Otter and Bunny traveling together. Bonnie smiled. I was worried too, Ollie said. I think it helped when we told the ticket man why we were going to Bainbridge Island. We want to learn more about where the game of pickleball started. Yes, that helped, Bonnie giggled. The ticket man said he loves to play pickleball. And he said otters are one of his favorite critters. I'm sure he likes bunnies too, Ollie smiled. Everyone loves bunnies. Bonnie nodded and smiled shyly. Ollie reached into his bag to get a snack. Bonnie, I'm a little hungry. Would you like a snack? I eat fish and frogs when I'm at home, but for the trip I bought fish-shaped gummies and fish-shaped cheese crackers. Ollie gave one of each to Bonnie. Thank you, Ollie, said Bonnie. Yum! These are so good. Would you like some of my snacks? I brought carrots, of course, but I also brought red, chewy licorice sticks. Want some? I'll take a chewy licorice stick, but I'll pass on the carrots, Ollie said with a grin. Thank you. As Ollie put the gummies and crackers back in his bag, he spotted an envelope and pulled it out. Bonnie, I think someone put an envelope in my bag. It says to Ollie and Bunny on the outside. Ollie opened the envelope and saw a letter. It was from Mr. and Mrs. Pickleball. Please read the letter, Bonnie said. Dear Ollie and Bonnie, we are happy for you. You're taking a big trip to a special place. Take time to meet new critters and people. Listen and learn. Make new friends, explore, and have fun. Be safe. We love you, Mr. and Mrs. Pickleball. P.S. Because you're going to the Northwest in the United States, I want to tell you something. Years ago, before your mother died, she told me that she had a sister who moved to one of the states in the Northwest. You never know on your trip who you might meet. Wow, that letter is special, Ollie said. They must have tucked it into my backpack at the airport. They knew I would find it. And you did, Ollie. That makes me happy. Bonnie hopped up and down again. The two friends looked up and saw Bainbridge Island at the same time. Bonnie, look, we're almost there, shouted Ollie. It's so beautiful, Bonnie said quietly. Look at those Monterey pine and Douglas fir trees. They're so tall and strong. Yes, Bonnie, they are. Did you know that one tree in the island is over 150 feet tall? How do you know that, Bonnie asked. Well, Ollie said, I read about the island in advance of our trip. It's a very special island. It's where pickleball started, but there's so much more. And we get to explore and discover it together. Bonnie couldn't stop hopping. Soon Bonnie and Ollie were skipping off the ferry. People welcomed them with friendly smiles. Hello. Can I help you? One man said. Well, Ollie said, we just arrived. We want to get some ice cream, look at the island map, and plan our trip. You can't go wrong with any of the ice cream shops here in the island, the man said. Some of my favorites are just minutes away. Turn left at Winslow Street and enjoy. Thank you, sir, Bonnie said. Ollie, let's get a cone from each place and plan our trip. So they hopped and waddled along their way to get ice cream, map in hand. Licking their ice cream cones, Ollie and Bonnie walked up Winslow and spotted a bookstore. Bonnie, this looks like a neat place. Eagle Harbor Book Company. Let's go in and look around. Wow, Bonnie said. They have all kinds of things, not just books. Look, here's a table that has books about local critters and a book about the history of pickleball. Bonnie, I think we should buy that book right now. Ollie opened the book. It's written by Jennifer Lucor and her mother, Beverly Youngren. Ollie turned the page. Look at that, Bonnie, a picture of the authors with one of the people who started pickleball here in the island, Mr. Barty McCallum. I think this book will help us as we travel. What is our next stop, Ollie? Bonnie asked. Ollie looked at the map. We're close to Bainbridge Island Historical Museum. The museum might have interesting stuff on our people who can help us plan our trip. That's a great idea, Ollie. Let's turn up this street, Erickson Avenue. The museum is on the left, said Bonnie. Let's go inside. Hello, Ollie said to the museum guide. I'm Ollie, and this is Bonnie. We came to the island to meet new critters, make new friends, explore, and learn about where pickleball started. Welcome to the museum, Charlie, the attendant said. We're happy to have you visit. Let me walk you around. Ollie and Bonnie followed the guide to a room that had all kinds of exhibits. The first area they entered was an exhibit about pickleball. Look, Bonnie, said Ollie, there's a picture of the three men who started pickleball, Barney, Joel Pritchard, and Bill Bell. Bonnie pointed to a special case. Look at that, Ollie, a really old paddle made of wood. It was made in 1968, the first paddle sold in stores. Wow, that's awesome! Ollie was so excited. The paddles we use at homes are fancier, but I'm sure this old paddle did the job. Ollie and Bonnie toured the rest of the museum. I think we're ready to go, Bonnie, Ollie said. Bonnie nodded. The nice people at the bookstore and the museum guide helped us so much, and we have our map. Let's go! Bonnie bounced down the steps. Wait for me, Ollie laughed. First, we'll go to the Strawberry Park. What a yummy name for a park. Soon the two friends were at the park, and yes, there were strawberries growing wild. I think we're allowed to pick a few. I'm hungry again. Ollie rubbed his belly. I love strawberries, Bonnie said, as she nibbled on a berry. Then she pointed to something. Look, over there, it's a dog park. See that cute dog? Let's go meet him, or her. Ollie walked over and stretched out his paw. Hi, my name is Ollie, and this is my friend Bonnie. What's your name? My name is Dilly, the doggie said. I like your name. It's different, Ollie said. Where did you get that name? My grandpa's name was Pickles. My parents wanted to give me a name that honored Grandpa Pickles. Ollie smiled. I get it, Dilly Pickles. Like dill pickles? You got it, Dilly laughed. Now wait a minute. That name, Pickles, as in pickleball? Ollie asked. Yes, you got that right too, Dilly said. Pickle was named after my grandpa, Pickles. How did that happen, Dilly? Bonnie was so curious. Well, Dilly said proudly, as the story goes, my grandfather would always chase the ball when people were playing. So when the families who invented the game were choosing a name for the new sport, they called it pickleball. That is sure a fun fact, Bonnie said. I was told that my grandfather had a sister. Her name was Lulu. I guess if she had chased the loose balls more than Grandpa Pickles, the game might have been called Lulu Ball. They all laughed. Then Ollie had an idea. Dilly, can you join us on the trip? Our next step is the Grand Forest. I would love to join you, Dilly said. I can help you get there. Just let me tell my parents that I'm helping out some new friends. They will be happy and I will want to join you. Soon the three critters were off to the Grand Forest with Dilly leading the way. They trotted and waddled and hopped through the towering dense trees and pines. They listened to birds warble and tweet and caw. They looked at colorful fields of pink and purple and red dahlias. And they met more new friends, Daisy Deer and her brother, Digger Deer. Daisy and Digger joined the critter adventure. It was like a fun animal parade. When they got to Frog Rock and Frog Hollow, they had a group picture taken. Looking at the map, Ollie said, let's head to Point No Point Park. Ollie was excited to go there because he had heard that other otters were living there. Along the way, the lively group of friends heard a familiar sound. Dink, doink, pop. Pickleball courts were everywhere on the island, including the Founders Courts at Battle Point Park. The sound made Ollie and Bonnie smile. There was the same sound they heard back home. I love that sound, Ollie said. I remember the first time I heard it. I was alone then, but now I have a family and lots of friends. We'll visit the pickleball courts later and make more friends, Bonnie said. We sure will, Ollie exclaimed excitedly. When the critters arrived at Point No Point Park, they saw a lighthouse. Part of the roof was red. The windows were neatly trimmed in black. Climbing the front porch steps, the critters saw a sign on the door, closed to visitors. They all moaned. Let's just knock on the door anyway and see what happens, Dilly Dog said. Good idea, Bonnie said. So they knocked and knocked, but no one came to open the door. Oh well, sighed Ollie. Let's just walk to the beach. It's so pretty there. As they turned to go, they heard the door open, just a tiny bit. A squeaky little voice said, "Whoa, wait a minute. Can I help you?" Surprised, the critters looked around. Where'd that voice come from? They didn't see anyone standing at the door. Then Digger the Deer looked down. He spotted a small mouse wearing a visor, spectacles, and a striped shirt. The mouse was holding a tiny broom in his paw. Hello, continued the perky voice. I'm Louie the Lighthouse Mouse. I help keep the lighthouse tidy. Louie jumped up on the porch rail to make himself taller. Ollie lowered his head until he was eye to eye with the little mouse. Hi, Louie. I'm Ollie, he said. These are my friends. We heard there are otters at this park. We want to meet them and make new friends. You came to the right place, Louie said. See the marsh behind the lighthouse? Lots of otter families live there. Louie pointed to the big drain pipe. Sometimes you can see the otters sliding down this pipe that runs from the marsh down to the beach. It looks so much fun. Just then, Ollie and his friends saw a young otter jump into the open end of the pipe. Look out below! Here I come, he yelled. Whee! The otter went spinning down the pipe until he tumbled out onto the beach at the very end. The critters laughed and ran to meet the young otter. Hello, said Ollie. What is your name? I'm Oscar, the young otter said proudly. I like that name, Ollie said. Oscar, these are my friends. Bonnie, Dilly, Daisy Deer and her brother Digger, and this is Louis, the Lighthouse Mouse. He said we might find some other otters sliding through this pipe, and he was right. It is so fun, Ollie. You want to join me? Have you ever slid down a drain pipe? Do you and your friends live in Bainbridge Island? Oscar was full of questions. Ollie laughed. Dilly, Daisy, and Digger live on the island, but Bonnie and I are from the state of Michigan. We're here to explore, make new friends, and learn about where pickleball all started. Oscar thought for a moment. You know, before I was born, my mom and dad lived in Michigan. They came to visit the Northwest and decided to stay. We love it here. Ollie started to get excited. Oscar, you and I have Michigan in common because of our parents. Then Ollie looked at Bonnie. Bonnie, do you remember the last words in the note from Mr. and Mrs. Pickleball? They said my mom had a sister who moved to this part of the country, the Northwest. Yes, I remember, Bonnie nodded with enthusiasm. Ollie looked back at Oscar. Oscar, did your mother ever say she had a sister back in Michigan? Yes, Oscar replied. Mama said her sister died at an early age, but before she died, she had an otter pup, a boy. Do you know the name of your mother's sister? Ollie asked. Olive. No, that's not right. Olivia, Oscar said. Matter-of-factly, Ollie's eyes opened wide. Oscar, my mother's name was Olivia. Oscar and Ollie stared at each other. They grinned. Their mothers had been sisters. So, we're cousins, the two otters shouted together. Then they gave each other a big high five. We have to go back to the marsh and tell Mama. Oscar took off, leading the way to the marsh with Ollie and the other critters following close behind. Mama, Mama, Oscar shouted. I've big news. This is my cousin. He's from Michigan. His mother was your sister, Olivia. Whoa, 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 slow down, said Mama. What is your new friend's name? Wait, let me guess. Ollie? That's the name my sister wrote on the back of this baby picture she sent to me years ago. Mama Otter pulled out the picture from her pocket and handed it to Ollie. He looked at the pictures of the baby otter and turned the picture over slowly. Tears came down her eye. There was his name, carefully printed on the back of the picture. Ollie. O-L-L-I-E. Mama Otter and Oscar hugged Ollie. Come on, everybody. Let's go back to the beach, shouted Oscar. We're going to celebrate this special family reunion with a splash party. And that's just what they did. As they sat on the beach munching their treats, Mama Otter cleared her throat and asked everyone to be quiet. She looked directly at Ollie and said, Ollie, you and Bonnie can stay with us as long as you like. Your family. Then looking at all the critters, Mama said with a wink, families matter. No matter how far apart we may be, love and memories can always bring us together. Thanks for joining us today. Remember, pickleball is for everyone. No matter your size, your shape, your background, it's all about smiles. Smile with Ollie and smile with pickleball.